Hey guys, it is Lamont of Bashers United. Okay, so I've got a lot of questions about how to get your first quad, what should you get, what radio should you get. I'm going to do this quick video to explain everything I suggest. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes, so let's get started. You need 4 things: quad, a radio, goggles, and batteries. All right, let's start with the quad. I suggest that you get a pre-built. All right, the best place to look for pre-builts and reviews on pre-builts is a guy called UAV Futures. I'll put a link down in the description and a link up here to his channel. Now, the latest quad he has recommended is the FuriBee Dark something. I don't know, I'll put a link to it in the description. It's like the FuriBee Dark, you'll see it. It does from 4 to 6S, I think. It's a really good quad. Comes with the Gym Fan 5051s or something like that, really good props. So that's a good one to start with. I think it's only 170 bucks, which is awesome. It's a great price. It has all within spec components. None of them are proprietary to that craft. So when you break something, you can go right on to, you can go to Ready-Made RC, or you can go to Ready to Fly Quads and get yourself a flight controller. You can go to Amazon and get yourself ESCs. There's no specialty PDB on there, nothing crazy. So yes, get that. All right. So let's go into radio. Now, as you guys know, if you've seen me fly, I fly Futaba. If you are like a die-hard Futaba fan, then you go ahead and get yourself a Futaba radio. Maybe you already have one. That's great. But the best thing you could do is to get a FrSky based Taranis radio. The one I recommend is the FrSky Taranis QX7S. All right. Now there's a QX7 and there's an X9. The X9 is the one that everybody used to have. It's the older model, and if you buy it, to make it worth keeping, you're going to have to do a bunch of upgrades to it. I'd say just stay away. Unless you already have it, it's a great radio. Like if you already have it and or if you really want to get it, it's a great radio. You can't go wrong having it. Just know that if you buy a base model, there's some things you need to do to upgrade it. And I think it costs like about 200 bucks, something like that. The QX7S costs about $189, and it has every upgrade that you're going to need on your radio already on it. Futaba's great. I fly Futaba. It's awesome. But Futaba is not supported like the Taranis is supported. The Taranis within the FPV community is like the most supported radio you are ever going to get. Now, that means, say you want to go out and buy a Tiny Whoop. You don't even know what that is yet, but it's a great little tiny little drone. You see that if you go to my Instagram, you'll see some videos of me flying a Tiny Whoop. It's this little thing. Anyways, most of them they come bound to the Taranis, or they come bound to a Spectrum. And let's be real, nobody wants to buy a Spectrum radio. Don't do it. If you already have one, try to sell it. Buy yourself a Taranis. So let's move on to goggles. All right. There are 3 goggles that are good goggles. Right. That is the Aomway Commander, the Fat Shark HD3, and the Fat Shark Dominator V3. The Fat Shark Dominator V3 being the least expensive on that list. So let's start there. The Fat Shark Dominator V3s are what I fly, right? The Fat Sharks Dominator V3s they have a 16:9 screen on the inside, all right? You can buy a 16:9 camera. The FuriBee most likely comes with a 4:3. 4:3 is square. 16:9 is a rectangle, like 1080p basically, right? If you buy these, it will take the 4:3 image and stretch it out to 16:9. It's not that big of a deal because most of the lenses that are on cameras right now have such a wide field of view that it kind of fisheyes a little bit, and stretching it out the fisheye kind of helps even out the picture anyways. So don't worry about any of that. Now the 16:9 cameras have a 16:9 sensor, so they will send a 16:9 signal directly to the goggles, and you get 1-to-1 viewing ratio. Now the issue of 4:3 or 16:9 is this, okay? When the lens generates a circle, right? A square catches more of the circle than a rectangle, right? Because think of the circle going to the edge of the rectangle here. Up here is going to be missing, and down here is going to be missing, right? So flying a 4:3 camera on a 16:9 screen gives you all the benefits of 4:3 video or visual information, but in a format that's more comfortable, looks more like a movie screen. So flying 4:3 in a 16:9 is hunky-dory. It's all good. So Moving on from that, the next set is the Dominator H3s, right? Those are actually let me say how much these are 350, right? The Dom V3s are 350. The Dominator HD3s are 500 or 499, right? They have a larger screen on the inside. The screen is 4x3, so it's square, but it's bigger, so you see more field of view on it. The resolution is a little bit higher on the inside of those goggles. Not to the point where I think it's going to be make a huge difference, but enough that they're more expensive, right? Feature-wise, it's pretty much the same thing as this. It just they have bigger screens on the inside, slightly bigger screens, larger viewing angle on the screen, and a slightly higher resolution of the screen on the inside. Neither one has a bad resolution. You're not going to pick these up and be like, oh, I can't see. They're both good. You get the HD3s if you want like straight 4:3 with no distortion. They're good goggles, both of them. Let's talk about the Aomway Commanders, and then we'll go into diversity modules because this is what sets the Aomway Commanders apart from the Fat Sharks. The Aomway Commanders do pretty much everything the HD3s do, except they will take a 16:9 camera and a 4:3 camera, and they will show them at the proper resolution of the camera without any sort of stretching. Okay. They also have diversity built in. And a quick note on what diversity is: basically, you run a circular polarized antenna so that you can get signal from all the way around, or you want a patch antenna where you can get a really good signal, but the aircraft has to be right in front of the patch. Well, not right in front of it, but like in front of the patch. If you fly behind the patch, it loses signal, and that's it. So what diversity does is it allows you to run two antennas, and whichever one is giving you the best signal, the goggles will show that. All right, that's what diversity is. On the Aomway Commanders, it's already built in. On the Fat Sharks, both of them, the HD3s and the Dom V3s, you're going to have to buy a module that does diversity, right? Because I don't even think the goggles come with a module at all. You're going to have to buy one anyways. So, keep that in mind. The Aomway Commanders are about 380, all right? I think they're like 380, 389, something around that range. And they have diversity built in. Now, the plus side of the aftermarket module is that it has more features. There are two companies that make a good module, Furious and LaForge, right? These are LaForge. They have a little screen on there. It can tells you all kinds of stuff. It does a scan across the bands and tell you like which band is most clear. It does like lap counting. There are like games you can play with this, play capture the flag, all kinds of cool stuff. And they're always updating this to have more and more features through firmware updates. Whereas with the Aomway Commanders, you're stuck with whatever diversity module that's in there. It's not removable. It's not upgradable, at least not to this point. And I don't know if there's a port on the Aomway Commanders that will allow you to update the firmware. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. You should go look for it, find out. But the point is, there's a benefit to external modules, right? The Furious and the LaForge are always updating to give you new features, whereas the Aomway Commanders, you're pretty much locked into whatever they have. Now, what they have is good, right? It will do all the things you need your goggles to do. It'll scan channels, it'll find your channel, it'll show you. I think inside it there's an OSD, which is an on-screen display inside the goggles that shows you all the information, like what channel you're on and all that kind of good stuff about the goggles, and they're good, right? So you got to make a selection. Now, the Aomways they're great goggles. A lot of people use them. The only downside to them would be that they're made in China. Okay, so if they break or something goes wrong, you have to ship them to China. They'll fix them and send them back to you. From what I understand, their customer service is fantastic, and they'll definitely fix your goggles for you. It's just going to take a long time because you have to ship them to China. Whereas Fat Sharks, you can ship them to California and do 2-day shipping, and however long it takes them to fix your goggles, which usually isn't that long, and you get your set back within a week maybe if you play your cards right. So the three goggles: Aomway Commanders, Fat Shark HD3s, or the Dominator V3s. Right? Don't buy anything else. Plain and simple, there's nothing else out there that you want to get. I know you saw those $99 ones that look like Fat Sharks. They're freaking terrible. The Fat Shark Attitude V2, V3, and V4, terrible. Because they don't allow a lot of the aftermarket modules, and that's the reason that you want to buy Fat Sharks in the first place, is these aftermarket modules. All right, so that's that. So we went over quad, we went over radio, we went over goggles. All right, the last thing to cover are batteries. All right, you're gonna want to run 4 cells. All right, don't buy 5 or 6 cells. That's too much. The battery I recommend is the Turnigy Graphene. Now, it is not the best battery in the world, but for the price, it's a lot more durable than most of the really nice batteries. The other battery I would recommend would be the Thunder Power Adrenaline series. They also make the Rip a Ball series, with just a repackaged Adrenaline 75C, right? These are great batteries. Fantastic. I love them. They have cool features like this little thing here that holds your balance lead under here. This little thing. So that's fantastic. It's great. Not cheap, right? For your first set of batteries, I would just buy 8 of these. Right? The reason I say get these is because they are super durable. Now, there was a time where these were not all that great, right? But they fixed them because I love them. Like, so basically, I've drained this battery down to 11.2 volts. It's a 4-cell. You're not supposed to do that. And it has not puffed at all. All right? No puff at all. And I smacked it into the ground, and basically there's a metal band that goes around the outside. Most of you guys have used Turnigy Graphenes before, use them in your speedrun cars, and you know there's a metal band that goes around the outside of the battery that protects the cells, right? So when you go smash it into the ground, and one of these, there's nothing protecting it. You can hit it, you ding a corner, it's going to damage that cell, then that cell's never going to charge out again. And this, you can go through a few pretty good hard hits on this, and it'll still work, just like it did when you first bought it. Is it the most powerful battery in the world? No. But you're going to crash, right? It's going to happen. You want something that you're going to be able to use again after you crash. And these are the least likely to break of most of the other batteries because they have that metal band in them. So a quick summary. 4 things: quad, goggles, radio, batteries. I don't know if I did it in that order before, but those are the 4 things you need. Quad, go check out UAV Futures. The link is up here. The last one he recommended was the FuriBee Dark something. It's easy to find. Just look it up. It's great. It's great. And it doesn't have any proprietary stuff. The radio, the Taranis QX7S. All right, it comes with all the upgrades you need. Don't buy anything else. Don't buy a Spectrum. Stay away from Futaba. I know Futaba's great. I love it too. But in FPV, the Taranis reigns supreme. Goggles. The Aomway Commanders, the Fat Shark HD3s, or the Dominator V3s. All right, batteries, 4 cells, and this is a Turnigy Graphene 65. I don't know if they make this in a 90, but if they do, they'd probably be better than this one, but I run this one and it's fine. All right, so I hope that helped you guys. If you got any questions or comments, put them down in the comment below. I hope you like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. Oh, one more thing. If you want to learn about quadcopters, there's another channel you should go visit. There's a YouTuber called Joshua Bardwell. He will tell you everything in detail that you need to know about building quads, what modules to purchase, it's everything. All the information in the world. Go check him out. Tell him that Lamont from Bashers United sent you, and he'll not know who I am. But that's not important. Do it, because it sounds like fun. Alright, so look up Joshua Bardwell, Stu from UAV Futures. There's a bunch of other freestyle pilots out there you can check out. Gappet, Mr. Steel, Schizo, all the guys from Go to Riot. You're going to have a great time. And I hope this video helped you. So again, deuces you guys.